follow that. When you find something you're good at, go for it. And I also always say it's not about passion. Everybody's got passion for something, right? Don't follow your passions, follow your efforts. Because people say, I was passionate to play baseball. I was passionate to play basketball. Doesn't mean all of a sudden I was going to be good enough. But I found myself being really curious about business, being really curious about technology. And that curiosity is really what drove me. And I think, particularly if you're young today, curiosity is great. Always learning and trying to find new things and being curious about new things, because that's what leads you to that path. Trying to figure out in advance, that's hard because you don't know what you don't know.
You have to have an emotional investment in what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, failure is pretty much guaranteed. Success is not guaranteed by any means, but failure is much more likely if you don't love what you're doing.
Your life would feel better and richer if you had a goal, you chased that goal, you accomplished some things, you would get this boost of confidence, you'd get this boost of self-esteem, like whatever it is that you're into doing. Maybe you're into drawing comic books, maybe you're into making pottery or sculptures, but find whatever the that is and pursue that instead of doing nothing.
Now is the time to take risk. You don't have kids. As you get older, your obligations increase. And once you have a family, you start taking risk not just for yourself, but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. So now is the time to do that before you have those obligations. So I would encourage you to take risks now, do something bold.
If you want to control your own destiny, you work for yourself. That's how it works. I'm trying to inspire those of you who are on the tipping point. Take the chance, you're young. Go for it. There's nothing better than being able to wake up in the morning 10 years or 20 years from now and do whatever you like.
So you want to work on yourself. You want to read books that inspire you and motivate you. You want to listen to tapes over and over and over again. And I suggest that you listen to tapes when you first get up in the morning. You want to control the spirit of your day. When you first wake up in the morning, your mind is operating at 10.5 wave cycles per second. That's when the subconscious mind is most impressionable. Whatever you hear in the first 20 minutes when you wake up, that will affect the spirit of your day. You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go.
There's no other way around it. If success is the result that you are ultimately seeking, you must be obsessed with the process. You have no time to let fear, doubt, failure, quit, negative thoughts, or give up enter into your mental. See, you have massive potential. So from the moment you open your eyes in the morning, your mindset has to be win. Meaning winning that particular morning and carrying that winner's mentality with you as you enter your classroom. So what the person to the left of you is pessimistic. So what the person to the right of you is zoned out. You, yes you, can only be concerned with staying locked in because you refuse to let the aura of your classmates or classroom enter into your mental space. See, this race is won by the one that can distance him or herself from the rest of the pack. And those are facts. So I need you to realize that there will be bad days. There will be times that you feel like you have no earthly idea what your teacher or professor is talking about. But what you will never ever do is throw a pity party. What you will never ever do is tap out. What you will never ever do is concede and throw in the towel. What you will do is knock on his or her door and say, listen, I only have one option, and that is success in your class. But right now, I'm confused about the lesson you taught today, and I need clarity, and I need it now. I guarantee if you are passionate about wanting to achieve success in that class, he or she will bend over backwards to help you. But if you settle for mediocrity and never say anything, you are setting yourself up to fail. And failure, my friend, is not in your DNA. I promise. You're not the first person to question whether or not they have what it takes to achieve at a high level. I promise you're not the first person to feel like they are underperforming. I promise you are not the first person to feel like their brain is about to explode. Listen to me. Those that can push through no matter what storms arise are in the small minority, that small percentile of those that ultimately break through and make their goals and dreams a reality. So the reality is this. You were born with everything you need to pass every class with flying colors. You were born with everything you need to overcome the anxiety that may pop up from time to time on a mission to derail your lifelong hopes, dreams, and aspirations. See, my favorite acronym is HWPO. And just in case you forget, or just in case you don't know, that means hard work pays off. So winners like us never lose focus. And we're horrified and petrified whenever someone tries to tell us to take the easy route. Because we already know there is no easy route. Because if it were easy, everyone would do it. So we avoid that ignorance and get back to our grind of studying harder than we've ever studied before, because we understand that you get out of it what you put into it. So we pour our heart and soul into our homework. We pour our heart and soul into studying for exams. That way we sleep like a baby, because we know in our heart of hearts that we have put every ounce of our being into our work, and therefore success is a foregone conclusion. All of the hard work, after all of the studying, after all of the blood, sweat, and tears, you still fail. I need you to really hear me. And never forget this. You never fail, you never lose, you only learn. See, life will knock the mess out of you when you least expect it. It's part of the process. See, that's when you have to tell yourself, because of this setback, I'm stronger. Because of this setback, I'm wiser. Because of this setback, I'm smarter. And because of this setback, I'm hungrier than ever. So I say all of this as a friendly reminder. Got this. You were born to be spectacular. So I need you to jump over the obstacles. I need you to go around the pitfalls, and I need you to push through the adversity, because that dormant volcano of success that's living inside of you is just waiting for you to grant permission for it to erupt.
People are always wondering what the next step in life is. And I say, life's a little bit like a maze, you know? Until you walk down one hallway and try to open the door, you don't know if it's a dead end or not. And people are trying to sit back, and that's where the procrastination comes in, and look real far down the hallway. And I'm like, just walk.
Small and steady wins the race.
What's the fastest way to change your life? For me, I think it's understanding how to set up daily routines with alternating brain and body training, and killing procrastination.
The little win with your family when you feel like watching TV sets you up for another win the next day. A little win of getting up at 5 o'clock and running your morning routine sets you up for a habit of a 5 a.m. club morning routine. Small daily improvements over time will lead you to stunning results.
It comes down to this, Elvis. I think you have to work hard. Like, just so everybody knows, we haven't gotten into this subject yet. Working hard is the cost of entry to anything. You know 0 people that are successful that don't work their face off. You know 0 people. Now, they may have money because mommy and daddy made money and gave it to them, but But people that actually built their own success, you know 0 people that have had success that did not put in obnoxious amounts of work.
What's the most important key to success? I think it's hunger. It's not getting satisfied. A hunger that doesn't go, a hunger to learn, a hunger to grow, a hunger to serve, a hunger to give, a hunger to create breakthroughs. Most people are hungry till they make a certain amount of money and then they get comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not about the money. It's not about the business. It's about your growth. Because every one of us either grows or dies. People ask me all the time, what does it take to be happy? I say one word, progress. Progress equals happiness, because achieving a goal feels good for how long? A week, a month, 3 months, and then there needs to be something else. And the reason for something else is because you gotta grow.
Imagine a conversation with your future self. In that, let's imagine that the you of 20 years from now shows up at your doorstep, and that you is stronger, smarter, wiser, wealthier, healthier, happier. And that you shows up at your door, and it looks at your life, and it looks you in the eye. If that future you was going to give you advice on what to stop, what to start, what's the first thing they would tell you to be or do?
Take a step back right now and think about who we all admire in the world, right? They're all people that punted the system. They're people that practiced singing since they were 5. There are people that shot 10,000 basketballs every morning. It's always that. It's always that. 99% of the people right now that are listening to this are playing in the middle. They're playing in a game that was structured for them. They're risk adverse, they fear, and most importantly, they fear what other people think.
Look, I believe that we're all born with lots of goodness in us, but life throws curveballs. Life, the ambition of being alive helps us dream. And if you've been given a dream, don't discount that because you're not good enough yet. Develop yourself, weaponize yourself, teach yourself to be so good at something that is necessary to serve in the area of your dream that now you're never even thinking about your comfort zones. Your comfort zone is irrelevant. What matters is, what are you trying to do with your life? How are you trying to contribute?
One thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being lazy and just doing it.
Yeah.
That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not going to feel perfect every day. It's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through, and they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline, I get things done.
When we try to study, it's tedious, and most of the time, we don't have the energy or the motivation to do it. We don't have the drive in order to make sure that we can secure our future. And it's difficult because there are many other things that people nowadays would rather do. They'd rather be surfing Facebook, talking to people on Snapchat, going out to parties, anything to avoid doing the work. And I think that's the problem that today's society is. The reason we don't have so many, amazing people. The fact is, when we see someone who's like, this guy got a 4.0 GPA, this guy got all A stars, this guy got top of his class, and we seem so shocked about it. But the reality is, we shouldn't even be shocked about that kind of stuff, because we as individuals can achieve that. So many people today are being average, right? And I'm not condoning average. Being average is okay. The only problem is, if you're average, you're going to earn average salary, you're going to get average grades, your effort is average, and your commitment is average. But when life gives you a choice, my number one recommendation to you is do not take the average route. Whatever happens in your life, it's up to you. It's because of something that you did, right? Eric Thomas said, you don't make six-figure salaries blaming people. And he's right. I promise you, if you could make six-figure salaries blaming people for your mistakes, I would be the richest person in the world. But you can't. The only person to blame for your mistake is yourself. And that's why you need to hold yourself accountable for not doing the work. You need to hold yourself accountable for not revising enough. You need to hold yourself accountable for not putting in enough effort to get what you want. Listen, six-figure salaries do not get handed to you on a silver platter. You need to work your butt off for them. It's as simple as that. The French proverb, the future is purchased by the present. If you're not putting in the work now, if you're not checking up on your textbooks from time to time, in fact, not even time to time, if you're not checking your textbooks every single day, if you're not revising, if you're not going over what you've learned, if you're not making sure you are 110% on every single topic, how can you even say you deserve to earn six-figure salaries? So my number one tip to you guys is always find something to improve on. I don't care if you know the entire textbook back to front. I need you guys to make sure that you go through it again and again and again and again. Because listen, Michael Jordan didn't just suddenly make 1,000 shots and say, you know what, that's it, I'm fine. Right? Odell Beckham Jr. does not make all the rushes that he makes. He reaches a certain number of yards and he's like, I'm fine. All the greats do not just say they're fine. So in the same respect, you need to continue to work until your arms fall off. And then once they fall off, once everything starts to hurt, once your brain hurts, work harder. It's exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger said when he spoke about how he was a long-time friend with Muhammad Ali. Somebody asked Muhammad Ali, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't count how many sit-ups I do, I only count them when they hurt. So it's all well and good that you're doing the prescribed 1 hour, 2 hour revision a night, or even, and there are some people that do 3 to 4 hours of revision, per week. And I'm surprised if you get through the year with like 3 to 4 hours a week. It's minimal. But the reality is every single person in the world has the capability of being amazing. It's not like success isn't esoteric. It's not something that's completely out of everybody's reach. It's achievable. If you have it in you, and if you want it bad enough. It's easy to say, yeah, I want this, I want to be the best, I want to have this fancy car, I want to have a nice house, I want to have a beautiful girlfriend. Listen, it doesn't happen by just saying it. If everything we wanted was given to us just by saying it, life would be boring. And as a result of that, you need to get up and you need to work. You're going to need to make some sacrifices. Sometimes you're going to need to turn down that party or two. Sometimes you're going to need to say, you know what, I'm going to leave the drinks until afterwards. Sometimes you're going to need to say to yourself, you know what, maybe I don't want to eat that. Maybe I need to focus on this right now. You want to turn off the games console. You want to turn off the TV. I don't care if Game of Thrones, Suits, or The Walking Dead's on. You switch that shit off and you do your work. Yeah, let me tell you why. If you don't do your work, the fact is, you can't complain. When you're pulling out C's and D's, you can't complain that you're not getting high enough grades because you're putting in a C grade or a D grade's worth of effort. Only when you've put in an A or an A-star grade piece of work, an amount of effort into how much you revise, only then will you truly discover what success is. People say, people are born smart. Nobody's born smart. Everyone's brain is the same. Everyone has the same 2 arms, 2 legs. Everyone's born the same. The thing is, it's whoever uses their brain in the most effective way possible. And by doing that, by continually, working on your grind, continually working on your skills, continually building on who you are as a character and how you will maintain yourself in and outside the classroom, that is the way that you are going to redefine your life. And if you want that 6-figure salary, my friend, you better put 6-figure salary worth of work and worth of effort into your life. Whenever someone tells you you should give up, do the complete opposite. Blindside them. Because the reality is you can't give them the benefit of the doubt that you want to go and you want to just give up after the first try. I mean, who ever succeeded giving up after the first try? Albert Einstein, when he failed his experiments, he did not just stop, he continued to keep going until he redefined physics as we know it. Mark Twain said, the two most important days in your life are the day that you're born and the day that you find out why. And if you don't study, my friends, if you don't work hard, if you don't give life 120%, you will never find out why you were born because you are too afraid to take that chance.
By a lot of fail. I failed for funny things that I failed a key primary school test for 2 times. And I failed 3 times for the middle school. You know, for 3 years I tried to fail in the universities. So I applied jobs for 30 times, got rejected. I went for a police, they said, no, you're not good. I went to even the KFC. When KFC came to China, come to my city, 24 people went for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only one guy. And we went for police. 5 people, 4 of them accepted. I was the only guy that did not receive it. So to me, being turned down, rejected. Oh, by the way, I told you that I applied for Harvard for 10 times, rejected. I know I'll be rejected. I just don't want to say that.
Yeah, sorry now.
One of the things you got to understand, my friend, is that you're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fail because failure is the stepping stone to success. You need the logical reason why. Because failure is an experience that lends to wisdom that ultimately makes you a stronger version of yourself.
Maybe you got a test anxiety, I don't know, but the worst thing you can do is quit. Talk to your professor. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that you cannot quit. Just because you failed doesn't make you a failure.
Another one of these cliches or cliche stories is about Thomas Edison, right? When a reporter asked him, you know, what is it, how did you feel about failing 1,000 times? And he said, no, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I just found 1,000 different ways that it wasn't gonna work. And that's what's happening with you. But every time he found a way that didn't work, he was adding to his journey. He was growing stronger. He learned something, he discovered something. You are discovering something about yourself and you're exercising your character every time you get up and try something, move in the direction of something, even if you don't get the thing. It's not about the thing. It's not about making the basketball team. It's not about making $1 million, and it's not about the light bulb. It's about what you learn along the way, who you become along the way, and you're on the journey. And guess what? The journey's hard. The journey is riddled with failure, and that's why most people don't do it. Most people aren't willing to get on that journey because they're afraid to fail. You, my friend, have failed. Congratulations. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to you because it shows that you're alive, it shows that you did something, and it shows that you're growing stronger. Now go and fail again. Bro, I hope you guys that watch these videos, I hope you go and fail 1,000 times. Keep going out there and failing. You know what that means? Every time you fail, it means to me, it tells me that you're doing something.
See, a lot of people, because they don't want to make any mistakes, it takes us to the next level. A lot of people don't want to fail. Fear of failure, fear of success, and guess what else? Fear of the unknown. You know what Winston Churchill said about courage, Pat? He said, courage is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. So you want to courageously hold on to your dream and not lose enthusiasm. A guy in Los Angeles, all over the front page of the newspaper, he just passed the bar after taking it 48 times. He had more than enough reason and excuses not to take it. His son has a law firm. He could have been a legal assistant, a clerk, and people all of a sudden used to laugh at this guy. He was a laughing stock. People will do that to you. You know, people talk about John Kennedy Jr. failing the bar. Did you read in the newspaper that he passed? I didn't see that, but did they make a bigger deal about him passing as they did when he failed? No, you know why? People like to see you fail. They like to see that. People are like that. I don't know why it's set up like that. I was on the expressway, traffic was jammed up. You know what was happening? It was an accident. But people pull over to the side to get out of their car to go look, to see somebody else's suffering. That's why talk shows are so popular. So people like to hear other people's misery, get caught up in that. Then they go magnify it in their own lives because that's all they focus on. Who decided it doesn't matter how many times I fail. I'm going to courageously pursue it. I don't care what people say. I don't care what they think. This is something that I want that gives my life meaning and value.
If you constantly remind yourself after every defeat, after every setback, every time you get knocked down, I've got a saying, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. See, a lot of people, because of failure, they stop believing. Let me share something with you. You will fail your way to success. Yes, 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt. You will fail your way to success. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times people tell you that you can't do it. It doesn't matter if you don't have a dime in the bank. You will fail your way to success.
You got to set yourself up to win. You got to set yourself up with a process that allows you to consistently grow, consistently enjoy your life, and consistently produce the results that you're really after.
Somebody told you that hard work don't pay off. I'm here to tell you, if you work for it, if you're willing to put in that sweat, that blood, and those tears, baby, I'm telling you, you can have what you want, be what you want, do what you want. Are you hearing me? Keep going till you see it. Don't quit. Don't give up. Listen to me. Don't give up. Don't give in. You hang in there. You hang in there, because if you quit right now, you ain't gonna never see it. But if you hold on, everything you dreamed of, everything you envisioned, everything you worked for, it's coming. But you can't quit or give up before you get it. If you work hard, you can't have it. It ain't nothing you can't have. You deserve it. It ain't nothing you can't have if you're willing to work for it. It ain't nothing you can't have if you're willing to persevere, if you're willing to stick in there, if you're willing to stay, if you're willing to fight. It ain't nothing you can't have. Are you hearing what your boy is telling you? It's yours. It's yours. I'm coming. I'm telling you, it's yours. You can have it. It's yours. You can do it. It's yours. You can be it. It's yours. If E.T. can do it, listen to me, anybody can do it. High school dropout, homeless, lived in abandoned buildings, 12 years to get a 4-year degree. If you want it as bad as you want to breathe, if you really, really want it like you say you want it, you can have it. This ain't for the weak and the uncommitted. Are you hearing me? Success is not for the weak and the uncommitted. This is physical. Sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes it's going to be painful. It's hard. Yep, it's hard. Yep, it's difficult. Yep, why? Because the process is weeding out the weak. It's weeding out the weak. And so sometimes you got to play hard. You got to play physical. You got to play tough. Execution is worship. You got to get to a place that when you start it, you get through the middle of it, the doldrum, and you finish it. Are you hearing me? And not just finish, you finish strong. Listen to me very closely. Most of you, the reason why you'll never be successful is because you procrastinate. You procrastinate. You never finish stuff.
Don't get caught up in, well, I've tried it 4 or 5 times and things didn't work out. If there's something that you want and you're hungry for it, you've got to do whatever is necessary until. And when you give the best you can and that's not enough, you must do what is required. And don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly.
The secret to success is finishing. Execution is worship. Are you hearing me? Oh, you better hear what I'm telling you, baby. Listen to me very closely. Execution is worship.